What is up, everybody? You know, I always start this show off by showing love to those companies that help make this podcast possible. First is my friends over at Company Cam. Guys, I don't care what size business you are, I don't care what, CRM you're using. Company Cam will integrate with almost every single one of them out there. Every business that I've ever ran or I've been associated with, I have always implemented Company Cam because it's that good. I know some of you out there are technicians. You don't have the ability to, implement this, but bring it to the attention of your manager or your owner and be like, hey, I've heard about this Company Cam app. Everybody keeps raving about it. You should check it out. Um, Guys, this is a lot of things nowadays. We know it's about data collection, about getting pictures, all that kind of stuff. And these CRMs, even though that they have a lot of stuff built into them, this is like Company Cam, this is what they do, and they're very, very good at it. So maybe whatever you have House Call Pro, you have Service Titan, whatever it is, maybe it does take pictures and you can do some stuff, but I guarantee it cannot do what Company Cam does. They are dedicated at this. Guys, you can take pictures, videos, wherever it is. It timestamps it, it geotags it. You know who took it, where they were standing. I mean, you have so much information. Uh, Now you have pre-built templates. If you want to be able to share this stuff with your customers, it's literally drag and drop. You open it up, you drop what you want to include, bam, it's all in there. There's even communications. I used this at a company before, not ideally, but it worked. And this is how the installers and the sales team communicated. The sales guy would take pictures and do all this stuff, take measurements. It was all inside of the photos. The install manager, the installers would be able to see them live and be like, hey, can you get a closer shot of this? Or, hey, what's the measurement on this? That gas line, is it going to go around the corner? Like it was so awesome. The techs loved it. Now they have all kind of stuff with AI note taking. It knows that our time is valuable. It will go by the pictures and take the data and build notes for you. It literally does it for you. Company Cam is adding so many things so fast. It does more than I even know, to be quite honest with you. I need to get somebody from Company Cam on here because I tell you, it's amazing. This is one of the ones that I swear by. I got some good news that I'm going to let you guys know tonight about a new opportunity that's actually different than what I told you last Friday. And Company Cam is going to be added because I absolutely love this. So, anybody out there, if you're interested in it, you can go to, it's going to be going across the ticker, but if you go to companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored, they will give you a free 15-day trial, 14-day trial. I forget what it is, 14, 15 day. I want to say it's 14-day trial to test it out completely free. If you like it, they will give you 50% off your first 3 months. So take advantage of that. Trust me when I tell you, check this thing out. It is absolutely amazing. Next. Speaking of that, it's going to be my friends over at House Call Pro. Guys, there's a bunch of different CRMs, and it was funny. Me and Curtis, the guest, were just talking off air, and I always said that I think House Call Pro is the best bang for your buck. Especially if you're a smaller company. If I say that you're under $5 million in revenue, House Call Pro, the ease of use, what you can do, and it's not going to cost you a small fortune to be able to do it. House Call Pro is amazing, and the fact that they listen to their end user. You guys have seen him on here several times. The founder, Roland, and he's in these chats. He is listening to you. He's going back to the team saying, "Hey, our people are asking for this. They're wanting that." They have something now called the pipeline that I absolutely loved, where they have AI built into it, where when something happens, it automatically takes that out of one bucket and puts into another, that's the reason it calls the pipeline. Absolutely awesome. I love it. And the one that I said previously, Company Cam integrates with House Call Pro amazingly. They work hand in hand. You take pictures and all this stuff can, seamlessly work together. So anybody out there, if you're not happy with what you're currently using, or you're looking to start your own business and you don't have one, you're still doing the old pen and paper, give my friends over at House Call Pro a click. All of the links for all of these will be in the show notes below. It'll take you right there, or you can go to the website, www.hvacuncensored.com, and all of the sponsors will be on there as well. Real fast, we're going to do one last one. And I know, let me change your socks. Camel City Mill socks. I get it. People fight back and like, Gil, these socks aren't cheap, and they're not, but you get what you pay for. And these socks are absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, I've never been so excited about socks. And I will be fair, I've bought a couple, but most of the ones I've got, they have sent me for being an ambassador for them. You guys know I'm always completely honest, but I will buy more. That's how much I believe in these socks. Yes, you all should worry about the boots that you wear because we're on our feet all day. You need to have comfortable boots, but you should also have good socks to put inside of there. These things will keep your feet warm in the winter, and summer is coming up for a lot of us. And we all know you take those boots off in the summertime and your feet smell like Bigfoot's ball sack. It's gross. Your feet are sweaty. These things will keep those footsies nice and dry. They're not going to be all wet. Your foot's not going to smell horrible. Your boot's not going to smell horrible. These things are awesome. So you don't got to hear me say it. There's a whole bunch of 5-star reviews of people that I don't know. So you just don't got to take my word for it. All right. These things are absolutely awesome. And real fast before I'm going to back up with this just so I can show you here they are, all the different ones. So they have the over the calf. If you like the high socks, boot cut, crew, and now they make ankle socks. So go check them all out. The discount code is uncensored 10. Some people messaged me and said they were doing uncensored, wonder why it didn't work. It is uncensored 10 to be able to get 10% off of your order. All right, enough paying these bills. Let's get on to the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States. And thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil KV Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. I am your host, Gil KV Jr. Here we are, another amazing show. It is Friday. Thanks, everybody, for that. I had to move the show from Wednesday to Friday. I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to like these Fridays, to be honest. Let me know in the comments or in the chat how you guys would feel about me moving the show to Friday. The only problem is I have a bunch of shows already booked. But I actually do like these Fridays. I just know that other people do their shows and I feel bad kind of going to other people's stuff. But just a thought, let me know. Anyway, Mama's back in the hospital, going through some stuff. She's okay. But yeah, so I appreciate, my guest Curtis and all you guys, being cool about that. There was just no way I was going to be able to be here Wednesday. Other than that, I'm going to make some announcements before we start this. Let me say, shout out some people before we get going. Mr. Nasty for being the first one in here at 7:32. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Mr. Neil C. Vids, what is up, my man? Thank you. Thank you. Obviously, we have our guest, Mr. HVAC Guy is in here. Mr. Everything, Mr. Steve, what is up, buddy? Thank you for being here. Mr. Just Work, thank you, my man, for being here. Appreciate you as well. I know I saw Mr. Jason Johnson. What is up, my brother? Thank you as always. And that is it for now. I'll throw out some shout outs to people as they come in. Another thing I want to say real fast before we start. I'm truly blessed for this. Last week I told you that I accepted a job for a big company called Remco, which is commercial, to be the service manager, which I did. And Saturday morning, I had another offer come through that I ended up pulling my offer from the Remco place and taking this other offer. I love all sides of the HVAC industry. I truly do. But I started in commercial, industrial, refrigeration, kitchen equipment. That's where I, first got my feet wet. But I love the residential side, just me personally. I love it. I love running those businesses. I love helping technicians in that aspect. And I like dealing with homeowners. Maybe I'm weird. I like it. So I got an offer from a company called Carroll Mechanical. They are an amazing up and coming company. They have some awesome people that work there. I was able to talk to some of their employees, and I'm not going to go into details, but I got an offer that is amazing. Like, to be honest, it's a gift. So to be the general manager and a lot of other things, involved in it. So that is going to be what I'm doing. I will start there on Monday. You'll see me making some videos. So truly blessed. I'm truly happy. I get to stay in the residential avenue and do what I love to do. So that's what I will be doing. So I've been picky since I left the last place because I wanted to make sure I got it right. And yeah, I took this one, and I'm extremely excited for it, man. I'm extremely excited. So I get it. I know I'm weird. And the Remco job would have been awesome. That company is amazing, and it was hard for me to pull my acceptance of their offer, which was really, really good. But this one just felt right. Everything about it. So I'm going to do that. So I'll be making more videos of me doing things and meet some of the amazing people there. But with that being said, enough about this, man. Guys, I have an amazing show tonight. I'm so glad that we were able, with schedules, and Curtis was able to move this till Friday. I've loved meeting him. Obviously, we're in the beginning of a relationship. I finally got to I was on the Knights with him and those guys. I was able to meet him in person finally when I was in Florida at AHR. And, watching his videos and from afar, man, I just have so much admiration for him and what he does, especially being a one-man band when he runs his business, which that is hard enough. That you are, the accountant, the technician, the person who answers the phones, the person who does the billing. Like, it's a lot. And then for him to film his work, edit it, put it online, and then also do a podcast. Like, I understand how much time and dedication that takes. So I give nothing but props to this person. So there's no surprise why this man was the HVAC Tactical 2025 YouTube Channel of the Year. So please put your hands together and welcome the HVAC guy, Mr. Curtis Harrison.
Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Oh, not much. Did you hear any of that noise in the background?
No. What was?
My dog was trying to get out the house. He was chewing on the doorknob.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, please don't do that right now.
Yeah, no. Well, it was good. You were muted while it was going on, so I wouldn't have heard it anyway. But that's funny. What you got a hot date tonight? He's trying to get out.
He's a young man and likes running around the neighborhood.
Hey. Or more power to him. Oh, Jason said I hear Riley in the background. She's upstairs, and probably you don't, because now my daughters think that they want to roller skate in my house. So I'm like, yeah, that's going to destroy the hardwood floors. Let's not do that.
Now, wait a minute. You have a Riley in your house?
Yeah, that's my oldest daughter. So I have 4, 2 boys, 2 girls. My oldest daughter's Riley.
My dog's name's Riley. That's who he's talking about.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny. Oh my God. Because they know my daughter. So that's why I said that. I didn't know that. Because normally my daughter Riley will be back here sometime. So that makes sense. Now that makes sense. But that's funny. We spell Riley a little bit different. We decided it's like RYLEIGH. So
I don't have any kids, and I love these Weimaraners. I named that one after my granddad.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that. I was going to ask what was the dog's name, and Riley. That's funny. So if it's anything like my daughter, it's a handful.
Yeah. He knows how to get out of the yard so easy right now. So it is a handful. I have to watch him or put him on a leash until I can fix the fence.
Yeah, they're animals. They like to have fun. They can be a handful sometimes, but it's worth it. So it's just so what? It's just you, your wife, and the dog.
Yeah.
Wanted to make sure, because I remember you saying something when we were in Florida about your wife. So I wanted to make sure I was like, wasn't going to say something, and you're like, my situation. Like, no, she just left me. Thanks for bringing it up, Gil.
No, we're still here. We're still here.
That's good. What's up, Adrian? One of your compadres is in here, Mr. Adrian, reliable HVACR. So I've always wanted to go ahead.
Adrian's had multiple tool hauls lately.
Oh yeah,
yeah, getting all kinds of cool stuff in. Got to go over there and check them out.
Yeah, no, I will, man. I haven't. I've been horrible about being on social media, so I gotta get back on, especially for somebody that they say is an influencer. But I'm more of a podcaster. But yeah, I gotta get back on there. I know he's always doing some amazing stuff, man. He's a busy dude. He's always grinding, so I give him that.
Yeah.
Especially with doing multiple podcasts and doing the social media stuff. He
does a lot of social media stuff. I don't know how he does it. I think he's got a schedule where he's doing something, publishing something every day.
Yeah, it's a lot. Speaking of that, Adrian, I gotta text you, brother, because I got your two partners on here, but me and you haven't scheduled anything. So I gotta get you back on here too, brother. So me and you can chit chat. So but yeah, I wanted to ask you, man, I'm always curious. I love to hear people's stories. Like, how long have you been doing HVAC and how did you get into the trade?
I did some HVAC in South Carolina. I was like a duct helper. And then I got on the installs and then I got out of it for a long time, a really long time. Moved to South Georgia. And I got into car air conditioners for a little while. Didn't like it because it was really cramped spaces and it was hard to work in those spaces. So eventually made the move to just working in residential field HVAC.
Nice. And how long have you been doing that now?
All right, I've had the business 15 years. Before that, so 23 years now, I guess.
Nice.
I mean, when I came to South Georgia and started working in HVAC, like 5.5 years later, I had my business.
What made you want to start the business? What was your driving force?
Well, I had most of that experience comes from two companies. One of them was good and one of them was bad. In the good company, it was one of the bigger companies in town. I could see how much money I was making for them. And in the worst company, they wanted me to try to step in and run everything, but they weren't paying me what I was worth. I began to know what my worth was, and I thought, you know what? If you're going to ask all of this of me, I might as well be doing it for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And that was just a great decision when I made the decision.
No, I mean, so how hard was it in the beginning, like going out on your, on your own and getting this thing started?
Initially, if my wife hadn't have been working, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Because I made very little money. I think the first year, end of the year, I may have had like $12,000 in the bank for company and personal. I mean, it was rough.
Yeah. But it's good for you to share that though, so that people and people used to always say, like, I don't want to share those stories because you're trying to scare somebody off. It's just about being honest. People see the glory and the end result, but it's going to be some hard work to get through it and to make sure they're not setting themselves up for failure. I think people should go start their own company. Entrepreneurship is an amazing thing that we have in this country, for whatever you do. But I like hearing these stories so that people understand that it's not like, man, I'm going to start my own company and I'm going to be a millionaire in a year. Like, that's not how this works.
No. Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like we do make a really good income. it's honorable work. You enjoy what you're doing. You have a feeling of like you're accomplishing something. I think it's a great way to earn a living.
Yeah. Hey, this trade's been good to me, man. So I've been able to do a lot of things in life because of this industry. So I think that's why I feel so compelled to try to give back to it. But I love the conversation, that we talked about off air that I want to touch on is a lot of people think like, oh, I'm going to start a company and man, then I want to have, 10 employees and I want to be a $20 million company and blah, blah, blah. But there is no right or wrong avenue. It's all about what you want as the business owner. And like you said, you went from having employees to now it's just you and you like it financially. You like what you're doing. If you could just elaborate on that a little bit.
Okay. I did have employees and I was going to continue down that road. But, well, let me explain something. To hire any employee, even at a low wage right now, is still going to cost you per year when it comes to Social Security, workers' comp, increase in insurance, your vehicle and gasoline vehicle insurance. It's going to cost you about $60,000 to hire that one person full time. So that one person has to make you more than $60,000 in order to earn his keep. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So the moment you hire somebody, you start losing money. I was making a net profit close to 25, sometimes 30, 40%. The moment I hired somebody, I took a hit. And it stayed that way. I got up to 5 employees, and I never got to the point where my employees were making more money than I was spending on them.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And there's another business owner here I've talked to about it. And he said he never got over that hump until he had about 10 employees.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's all about what you want and what you're willing to put up with, to be honest. And like you said, you're making good money, you're living a good life, you have enough work for yourself. If you have people that help you with installs when you need the help, and I know a lot of business owners and some that I've worked for that were doing pretty good. They had a few employees, but a lot of them would say, sometimes I want to go work back out of my garage and just go out in a truck with maybe me and somebody else, because you try to get big, but then you add all these other expenses. Now you have rent to pay on a building, more vehicles to pay for, like you said, all the Social Security. And also, I want technicians to understand so you appreciate this stuff. I know when you go to an established company, you're like, I want vacation and I want paid holidays and I want, all this stuff. Realize how much it costs. And to be honest, when I started truly running businesses, I mean, like being a general manager in the numbers and stuff like that, if you knew how much it cost a company for a paid holiday, you'd be shocked. It's expensive. You're paying everybody for that day and there's no income coming in. So just, you know what I mean? Like, not saying that you shouldn't get it and you don't deserve it. That's not what I'm saying. Just always try to be devil's advocate and think about it from the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of the problems I had attaining good talent and people who weren't going to rip me off was that I couldn't offer health care in a 401k. But when Obamacare came through, I was able to help a little bit through that platform and at least pay for part of health care. And I would offer it, and that would have cost me a lot of money. And I was offering that to try to attract people. And I still couldn't get the ones that I wanted.
Yeah, to be honest, if you ever were going to bring somebody back on, and this is just my opinion, is finding some younger kid who doesn't know shit about the industry that you know is just a good person. They have a good moral compass, and teaching them the trade, and they can grow with you. Because trying to find somebody out there, especially being smaller and not being able to offer all these other things, you're either going to get rejects that they're not working somewhere else for a reason. So you're going to get somebody else's problems, or it may start off good, but then they're going to be like, oh, well, I know that Curtis is out running calls, so I can do this or I can do that. And you know what I mean? Like, it just creates that kind of shitty mindset. So it's some of the struggles of being a small, company. So I don't blame you for just doing it by yourself.
I think at this time, my only thought of hiring somebody is if I get physically where I'm having trouble doing it, and just maybe take people on to train them or something, and just have a ride along.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, and you could still too, even as a one man show, is you build your clientele up, and when it comes time that hey man, my body's taking a hit, I don't want to do this anymore. You can still sell that. That's valuable. People will buy that. You know what I mean?
You know something? Today I turned 54, but I don't feel like it.
Yeah, you look 35, man. So, hey, mine's gray too. No hair, so I don't. I look older than I do. So,
yeah. I still feel young. My wife calls me a senior citizen, but I feel young.
That's funny, but I mean, truth though is this trade does wear and tear on your body, man. It's your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh man, I saw happy birthday, brother. I didn't know that. I saw Jason just put it in the chat, man. Well, thank you for I didn't know doing the podcast on your birthday, man. Jesus, now I feel like an ass.
Hey, it's one of the highlights of my day.
Wow. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, man. I mean, like, especially you doing everything. It's the mental side of it, and then the physical side. I mean, even if you love this trade, I mean, say 10 years from now, you know what I mean? Your mindset might change as far as being 64 and being like, I don't know if I want to crawl in this attic anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, between us, I'm already doing some of that. If something requires me to be ambidextrous just to get up there and it's painful, I've been in some tight spots where I've just said, you need to call somebody else.
It's good that you do that, though. I mean, you got to know your limits, especially now. If you decide to do that call and you tear your back out, now you can't put food on the table. You know what I mean? Like, so it's good that you've got the sensibility to be able to know your limits. Like, hey, I can't do this. I mean, some people wouldn't do that.
I'll admit the cases are rare, but sometimes the situations can be extreme. Like, they really want you to get up in a tight little spot and you got to go through that tiny little hole to do it. No.
Yeah, and especially I've had a whole new appreciation. Mr. Zeke is not in the chat tonight, but Zeke Warner, good friend of mine, owns a company not that far from me. And over last summer, I went and helped coach some of his guys. But on that side, it's called the Shore, and crawl spaces galore. And I was like, this sucks. I'm like, all the installers, it's all, you have to like dig out to be able to fit the unit through the hole because the ground like comes up, recedes up, mulch. And I'm like, this fucking blows, man. Like, I don't want to do this. This side, we got basement. I mean, you got attics, of course, but you got basement. You can walk downstairs. You won't hear me bitch about a dirty basement ever again.
They're all over the place down here. I got lots of crawl spaces and maybe 40-year-old metal duct down there sitting on the ground. I mean, it's all over the place.
Do you guys have those package units in residentials where you are? Because we don't have them here.
All right, I can tell you don't watch the channel.
I don't always. I
Yes, we get a lot of package units down here.
Yeah. And the reason I asked that is because Miss Rachel that was on last week, she's in North Carolina, I think it is. And I know they have a lot of them. So that's what made me think about it. Because we don't see them around here. I've never seen one in 20 something years of doing it.
Dude, sometimes the commenters on my videos, they call them RTUs. Because that's the only place they ever see them.
Hopefully they understand abbreviations though, rooftop unit. So
Yeah.
But are those, some people say that those are easier to install though. I mean, are they easier?
As long as you don't have to redo the ductwork, yes. They are easier. Basically, you hook up your ductwork, you build a rain hood, similar to building a complicated transition. Hook up your electrical and your thermostat, and you're done.
Nice. I mean, and they're all pretty, as far as to work on, I guess it's easier. It's all right there versus having to go inside, outside, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, I prefer to work on a package unit because the air handler on a split system might be hard to work on wherever it might be. I like working outside.
No, man, I wish we did see some of them, but I've never seen one around here ever. So it's funny that they're in regional areas like that, and like you just don't see things. Like I said last week, like I know out west they have those swamp coolers you see out in like Arizona and stuff like that. Don't see them on the East Coast. Up here in Maryland in the northern part, you just don't see those package units.
No, it's because of the humidity. It only works in dry, arid places.
Yeah. And that's what's cool, that we all do the same thing, but there's still these little odysseys like in the different regions where we do it. It's cool that we all do the same thing, but sometimes we do it a little bit different on different stuff.
Yeah. I noticed on one video from out west, it was like a restaurant that had makeup air that was air conditioned, but its actual first stage of cooling was an evaporator cooler.
Huh.
So one is removing humidity and one is adding humidity. I thought it was crazy, but nobody seemed to think anything of it in the video. So I thought, well, maybe that's just how they do it out west.
Well, I know that's like Lennox used to have that. Like I've worked on pool units before where they kind of have that, the whole like hot gas bypass where like it has that reheat coil. And I know Lennox tried to do it on like a residential kind of side, but not that it didn't work.
Exactly what you're talking about. Those things were a nightmare.
Yes, they were pieces of shit too. Like they just never worked right. And it was just more trouble than it was worth.
A salesman at the company I was working for at the time came and demonstrated one for us, and I don't think he sold any of them. Nobody was buying that.
Yeah, I remember the first one I saw, I was just like, what in the hell is this? And then I had somebody explain it to me, and I was just and I was like, man, and then working on them was always a pain. No, it's all right. Yeah, they were always a pain. But now I see people get in trouble. Speaking of humidity, is, I do believe in inverter technology. I do love inverters, but I tell people, like, if you go to a house that has legitimate humidity problems, don't think that inverter is going to solve their problems. Yes, it does dehumidify, but it's always going to be an air conditioner first. And there's plenty of times I've had to do a whole home dehumidifier and an inverter because I've had a situation where somebody made those promises. The customer was like, hey, man, I just bought this expensive unit from you and my humidity's still jacked up. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh my. I don't really sell dehumidifiers. I don't have any requests for it. I may have a request for a humidifier for somebody. It's normally a transplant from up north. In the winter, they like to run a humidifier. But
Yeah.
and then some people they get really dry skin and they'll run a humidifier.
Oh, somebody put in the chat, I don't know if you see it, they wanted me to ask you a question. Ask Curtis, is 70,000 BTU too big of an electric furnace for a 14 by 70 1980s modable home?
Oh my word. First of all, where are you? You in Florida or Alaska?
Yeah.
I mean, around here, that's a lot. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, I forget where.
I wouldn't want to venture to say. I don't know how big the mobile home is or nothing. A lot of questions there.
Yeah. He says 14 by 70, but 1980s. Man, the relic. Oh, in Pennsylvania. So, yeah, you're up north. I would say if you're 1980s, your insulation's probably not very good. So oversizing it probably wouldn't be too. I mean, you're probably losing a lot, but I don't know. Yeah, there's so many variables, man. I don't know if that's a question you could just give you an answer. Crazy 980 square feet. I mean, 70,000 seems like a little much, but your heat loss is probably gigantic.
And with electric heat, I mean, it don't hurt to have too much electric heat.
True.
I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. You just got to have a bigger wire.
Yeah, and hopefully your panel can support it. Because I don't know what it is. I know most homes nowadays, like 200 amp service is kind of, I don't know what they do. Isn't it smaller in mobile homes though? Like maybe 100, if that?
Most of them I've seen will have a 200 amp.
Okay. Yeah.
I've in a couple of them recently, I've taken out electric furnaces and we've gone back with heat pumps. I don't know how. See, Georgia's a state where it's electric heat cannot be the primary source of heat, so you have to install a heat pump. And somehow these mobile home providers are installing all these mobile homes with just straight cool electric heat. I wish they wouldn't, because when you want to go put in a heat pump, it makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah, I bet. I know around here, the ones I've done a few mobile home parks, but they always have like those, and I want to say Coleman is like the biggest one. Those like trailer park furnaces where like the coil's on the bottom and it's real skinny. And it was always 80% ones. I didn't even know they made 90% versions, and they're literally the same price as the 80%. And they make an easy kit. And we replaced a lot of those. And then normally it's, trying to run a new line set sucks because normally they're old R22 units with a 1/4 inch, liquid line. So it's always the guy, the young buck who draws straws, and he's got to be the guy to crawl under. Yeah. Hey, man, this is what you're doing today. But other than that, they were always pretty easy because the kit came where you'd push the PVC up and it came with a nice little cap to put on it. I mean, they were easy. Miller, yes, Randy, that's another one. Miller, he just said it was Miller, Coleman. I think those are the two biggest names that I saw. The only thing is sometimes you had to get them from certain places. You couldn't not everybody sold them.
Talking about somebody drawing the short straw. One time I had a couple contractors doing an install for me. I just sent them over there. I diagnosed it. I ordered the equipment. I ordered a line set, and I thought I knew everything that they were going to encounter. But I go to check on them, And one of them comes around the corner and he's soaking wet. And it's the middle of a bright, sunny day. I'm like, what happened to you? And he goes, oh, we just pulled a line set. And I didn't quite understand. I go look under the house where he just got out of pulling the line set, and it was thigh high in water.
Oh.
And he went through that. I was like, man, if I had known that was the case, I would have canceled the new line set. We would have just soldered on to what's there. Why did you do that?
Yeah. Well, hey, respect to him for not making excuses and getting the job done, though.
Man, I didn't know that, though. That was rough.
Yeah, that is rough. Some of those are nasty. It's yeah, that's crazy. What do you have like a certain preference of brand that you install, or it?
Well, I install Rude. I install Rude because the Rude dealer where I live is bar none. They're the best around here. Nice. They give me great customer service, and for their baseline products like the 14.2 Sears and stuff like that, I think they have a really solid product with a fail rate that's probably the same as any of the big companies like Carrier or Trade.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I love their furnace cabinets. I love the way they're made, their furnaces, and the new outdoor units. How you can, take them. What is it? 9 screws, and you can take all the panels off and take it apart.
Yeah, there's a way you can take the louvers off without disassembling everything and wash it off. It makes it real easy.
Yeah. I took a class there. It's Ream. Well, same thing, Ream Rude. But that's awesome what you said. And anybody listen to this, I've preached this for years. That's the definition of when you're a smaller company and people always say, oh, what brand should I sell? Brand should be the least of your worries. What supply house is going to take care of you? That is going to provide you the customer service, like you just said. Obviously, you don't want to, mess up your brand by doing some piece of shit, but you also want a supply house that is going to take care of you. And that's awesome. I'm glad that you threw that in there and said that, because I've been saying that for years. You want to find somebody that, gives a shit about you and takes care of you. That's the brand you should sell.
Well, amongst many other things and some great employees that they have, they give me the prices. They give me the best prices. Like I'm a big company or something. And so I'm going to be loyal to them for that.
Yeah. Well, hey, and loyalty is hard to find nowadays. I see you're wearing a Johnstone hat. Do you use them a lot in your area as well? Or is that who sells the Rude?
Actually, Johnstone, my closest Johnstone is 90 miles away.
Oh, man.
But they are my only Amana Goodman supplier. And sometimes they can deliver same day or next day. They make regular routes to my town, and if I need something from them, they take care of me. Yeah,
I have a good relationship. They're owned by, I think it's called the Watson Group. But a good friend of mine is a manager for Johnstone, and not that Johnstone as a whole is bad or anything, but he's the reason that I deal with them, because he is amazing. Like, takes care of you. I can call him on a Saturday and be like, hey man, I need this. And he's like, I got you, dude. Doesn't always charge me a fee to open. If it's him, he doesn't. If one of his employees is, then that's different. I don't expect them to go there for nothing, but that's why I'll take care of him and, just randomly give him something or buy him something because he does that kind of stuff. That relationship. So anywhere that I've ever managed, I've always had some kind of relationship sending him business because just of those little things that he'll always take care of you. And if I need something, it's, next day, or he makes it happen. Like, hey, that one part that is, 40 years old, I found it. I can have it here tomorrow. You know what I mean? Where most people are like, oh, I can't get it. Sorry.
I'll tell you, that one place that I buy my Rude from, they have an employee there that you can describe a 30-year-old package unit by the way it looks and she can tell you the model number and then find any part on it. No model and serial numbers.
Man.
She is good. There's nobody like her in the business.
Nice. Yeah, so not like that, but there was this old guy, Mike. It was funny. He used to be a dick, and everybody thinks he's a dick until I kind of confronted him years ago, and then we started being cool. But he worked for R.E. Michaels. Do you have them down by you, R.E. Michaels?
No.
Well, they're from here, so they're huge here. Their main warehouse is in Maryland. This guy, if you walked into R.E. Michaels and people were like, "Oh, I need this," and he's like, "Oh, that's an R464L. Oh, you need that? That's an HF." Like, dude, how the hell do you memorize? But I guess if that's what you do and you're passionate about it, like he knows every number in their book. It was crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I met an autistic guy one time. Now, he had the mind of like a 5-year-old, but he could read through like a 500-page novel, just flipping pages. And he had like a photographic memory. He could remember everything that he read, tell you verbatim what was in that book. In like 20 minutes, he'd be done. And I just thought, some people have strange abilities.
Yeah. Well, people don't see him as much, or at least I haven't. I haven't talked to his mom in a little bit, but Isaiah, the autistic kid who has been in the YouTube, he used to be around all the time. Sigur, I think that's how you pronounce it. I forget his last name, but Isaiah. I was close with his family. I haven't talked to him in a little bit, but he's like that where, I want to say he's like 20 something years old now, but his mind is like that of like a 12, 13-year-old, but like serial numbers, model numbers, like you read him a serial number or something once and you can ask him 2 weeks later, because his dad would joke and be like, "Hey, remember that carrier we worked on?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that's blah, 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 serial number, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, Jesus, I can't remember the unit I just walked away from, let alone one from 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
that's pretty amazing if he can do that.
Yeah, it's crazy that they have that ability. They say they're oh yeah, I forgot. Mr. Randy Torball in the chat is autistic. Hey, everybody has their abilities. Everybody's got shortcomings. Everybody has things they're good at, man. So one of those things. It is what it is. But damn, so much time is passed. But I wanted to get in how what made you start getting into the YouTube side? So a 2-part question. So I'll just get it out. What made you start getting into it, and how has doing it like impacted you as far as being able to be a one-man band, run your company, and do all the other stuff?
Do you want to know how I got into the YouTubing, or?
Well, yeah, how you got into doing YouTube? Like, well, I guess it could be. So I asked a lot there. Let's start off with how you got into YouTube and like video in your work and putting it out for other people to see.
All right. Legitimately, I started doing it because I got rid of all my employees. And the ones that I did try to teach, it was just like they couldn't absorb any of it. It's like they were preoccupied with something else. They didn't care what I was talking about. And I don't have any children, so I thought maybe if I make videos of it, there might be somebody who could learn a little something about what I'm doing. That's legitimately how I started, and I operated for years. It's only recently that it has really affected my life, and that, like we talked about earlier, and that's with having an income that gets my attention.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, and how has the struggle been? I mean, or is it a struggle? Is it your new routine, like being able to do all the stuff as a one-man band, as a business owner, and still like worrying about like recording a video that's going to make sense and being able to edit it and put it out, and that whole process?
Well, it's really just about managing your schedule. I need to get home by a certain time. I can film all day long. That's fine. but I need to get home by a certain time so I can edit. Just the downloading of the material, downloading it to my iPad, making a video, uploading it to the computer, and then uploading it to YouTube. All that takes time. So I need to get home at a certain time, which means I'm not working till 9 o'clock at night. I'm not out there really killing it like some people have to. I'm coming home usually before 5 o'clock.
Nice. That's good that you can do all that and be able to do all this and still be able to prioritize your time, and not have to necessarily kill yourself to do it. Not that this doesn't take a lot of work. So that I don't mean it in that way, but that you can get all that done in a somewhat, short time. Because I mean, once you get the video out, like when you come home, don't you still have like the sending invoices, the customer, like your schedule for the next day?
I am doing something, either video editing, scheduling, going through emails. It's like the work does not stop when I get home. I'm steadily working all the way until I go to bed.
Yeah, I bet it's a lot of work, man. And that's why I said I commend you, man, for, most people in your position would want to try to take things off their plate. So the fact that you add, making the videos, edited and putting it out, and even like doing a podcast and stuff like that, that's pretty awesome, man. Especially when it's already a time crunch as is. But I also love the side that something else we talked about off air is how you use the video links for your customers, if you want to address that.
I have done that a couple of times. I'm starting to experience customers who know me through my videos. That has not been a big thing at all, because most of the people who know me are technicians, not the homeowners in my area. So that's starting to happen. But there are times when homeowners like to see the video. There are some times when they don't want nothing filmed in their yards. But what I have experienced is property managers for rental companies love it. Like if somebody's complaining about something and say there's something wrong, like they've been running it without a filter for 2 years, and you call and tell the property manager that, she's going to want to see the video.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has its advantages.
Well, yeah, and even people like, I get some people not wanting to invade their personal space, and those people, it's like, hey, I'm not filming inside your house. It's just your unit and the outdoor unit. Nothing's going to show up that's going to indicate your address, your name, or who you are. And if God forbid somebody watches that video and they're like, oh, that's Bob's house, there's no way around that. You know what I mean? That person knew your house. You know what I mean? But that's pretty rare.
Well, I'll tell you, I try to refrain from showing people's faces in their house. I don't want to get anywhere close to the idea that I'm secretly recording. I let them know I'm recording, and inside I try to stay focused on the air conditioner, maybe the thermostat, and then outside I'm more free with it. I let the camera rise and show my surroundings more. And if somebody approaches me when I'm outside, they might be in the video, but any other time I try to keep them out of the video.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And that's just being respectful. If especially when you let them know, and if you have a camera sitting up, because what do you feel like, a GoPro?
Yeah, I put a GoPro on my chest, and normally when I walk in the door, it's sticking that far off my chest so they can see it.
Yeah. So it's not like you're hiding it. So I mean, and if they see that and then they walk up and they know they're in frame, well, there's not much you can do about that. Obviously, they're not that worried about it.
And if it doesn't really matter, I'll still cut that out of the scene. But if I'm in the middle of working on a scene and they just walk up to me, I might leave it in there.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. So what are you using to? So you edit on like an iPad? What are you using to edit all your videos?
I use iMovie a lot, and what's that other one?
iMovie's powerful. That's what I started on doing it. Now I got the whole Final Cut Pro stuff only because I graduated, but it's the same thing, just a little bit more features. If I didn't learn iMovie in the beginning, I wouldn't be half as good at Final Cut Pro as I am now. And I like the Mac side where I like to buy something and it's mine versus that, death by 1,000 paper cuts, the subscription model. Because I used to do Adobe Audition I used for when I edit the podcast back in the day. And it was expensive, man, making that payment. And then when you stop, you're done. It's not like you get to still use it. And I don't use Apple's because Logic Pro is more for like music and mixing beats. I audio edit my podcast in Final Cut Pro. I had somebody help build me like a preset, and I literally drag and drop it. I can edit a podcast now in all of 10 minutes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I got Final Cut Pro for my iPad, and there's certain things I can do with it. Like I can have up to 4 synchronized cameras. I can do some overlay things that I can't do in iMovie, some transitions that are different and stuff like that. But iMovie is actually what I use the most.
Yeah, iMovie is good. So pretty like iMovie is like the base. So Final Cut is just its big brother. Is all it is. But I mean, all of the base stuff that you can do all that in iMovie for free. And that's what I did in the beginning. I wasn't trying to spend money. I was trying to do what I could and spend no money. And to be honest, most of the stuff that I do, I probably could still. I mean, now I've bought in all these little packs, like transition packs and stuff like that in Final Cut Pro. So now I have it, I use it. But if I had to start over again, I'd probably be in iMovie and wouldn't buy Final Cut Pro, to be honest.
But you must be editing on a Mac.
Oh yeah, I'm a Mac whore, they say.
Dude,
I don't have.
I've got a MacBook Pro that I use in clamshell mode, means it's closed, and I got a screen and one of these Magic keyboards. So it's like I got a Mac just on a budget.
Hey, it's the same thing. No, that's smart. To be honest, so I have a MacBook Pro, but here in the studio, I have one of the Studio Ultras. This thing, I could edit an 8K video, and that thing would render in 10 minutes. It's yeah, and to be honest, I used to have an iMac originally, and I loved it. And I bought, when that thing crashed, I was in a bad spot because I lost everything. Like I had to thank God I was able to get things, and I had to remake the show, like the whole what you're looking at right now. And I didn't need this fancy one, but I couldn't wait to order one. So this is all they had in there. This thing was like $5,000. So it's more than I needed, but I do love it. This thing's a workhorse. But what I've done since then, I learned from some of my computer friends, is now I have, so I still have a Dropbox account, and then I have a NAS, a network attached storage. So this thing is like 80 terabytes. And all of my stuff links to that and gets stored. So all of my stuff is in like 3 or 4 different places. So if God forbid this thing is to die, I can plug up a new computer, or I can use my MacBook. I can plug that in and all of it synchronized. So I'm never going to lose my stuff, because that sucked. Like I was nervous there for a while when everything was gone, and I had to go through and build everything, like download, my own logos again, like all that stuff. Like it was all gone. Oh. And I don't want anybody to ever be in that position.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, Mr. Chris Stevens. What's up, Chris? Speaking of Mr. HVACR videos, he said, Curtis, I edit on a MacBook Pro too. But I think Apple, that's what they're good at. So like video editing, and not saying they're not good at other things, but when it comes to video editing, music editing, like they're built for that. And especially when you use native Mac apps like iMovie, Final Cut Pro, you can't beat it.
Well, dude, I don't mean to. I do all my editing on my iPad.
Well, it's still Mac though.
Basically,
Yeah, but I know Chris said he does his edit on the MacBook Pro. Well, that's funny. How come you rather, if you have the MacBook Pro, you don't like doing it on that? The iPad is easier for you?
That's what I've learned to do it on. I just haven't learned a faster, more convenient way to do the same thing on the MacBook Pro.
Yeah. Hey, and it's whatever's convenient. And to be honest, it's whatever system works. To be honest, I wish that I could do all that because I have Final Cut Pro on my iPad too. I don't use it as much, and I can do a lot more on the desktop, the computer version, than I can on the iPad. But I know a lot of people that do it, and it's a breeze. So it's whatever works. So thank God with Final Cut Pro, like I can do it on this. And I have a 49-inch widescreen monitor here, so it's huge. And then I have a vertical one over here. So I normally do it on this or my MacBook, but I wish I could do it on my iPad. It would give me a lot more freedom.
Yeah. Did I just get blurry on you there?
Yeah. There you are. You're back.
I don't know. One of these high-tech cameras lost focus.
They're crazy. I hate that too. And so far it's been pretty good, but all the equipment that I have in here, like now it's since the podcast has grown, it's a lot, but we'll do a show tonight and everything will work fine. And I'll come back next week and something doesn't work. And I'm like, I didn't touch anything. All I did was turn it off. Like, how the hell does it not work? But yeah. And most time I learned these fancy cameras, like I wasted so much money in the beginning. Like now I have nicer cameras only because it's a business and I have to buy things to show that I'm spending money for tax write-offs. But really it's the lenses that work. So I have, there's probably 6 cameras up here and I only ever use one.
Oh.
Yeah. It's crazy how much money that I waste. But like I said, I only get some of that stuff just to be able to buy things and show it as tax write-offs. It's always a good thing when the tax man says spend money.
I do something similar towards the end of the year. Sometimes I'll buy equipment to just not have that profit to spend taxes on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're not going to have it regardless. So either you buy something that's going to help what you do, or Uncle Sam's going to take it. So you might as well get something. But what I've started doing is if I do upgrade the older stuff, I'll sell to somebody. So Uncle Sam doesn't know that I'm selling it. So I'll get new stuff, but then I still make money back because the old stuff's not really that old. And I'll sell it to somebody for, a fair price. I mean, and I'll be good, even though I set it online now. So
all right,
this is gonna fucking get me.
Sounds like you got a problem. You got 6 cameras, you only use one, and you're constantly buying new ones.
Yeah, well, not anymore. I'm done. But I do have too many. One camera, the one that Jake uses. This little thing is awesome. I love this little camera.
What is that?
The DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This thing is pretty sweet. I had to get used to it because at first it was like the little screen and you turn it on and it's got the little screen, a gimbal built into it, and so you shoot this way, you're shooting 16 by 9, or if you flip it back over, now you're shooting vertical. It's neat. I like this little thing, and it has a microphone, like a mic that's built into it that you can use with it because I got the combo kit thing. But yeah, I like it, and I still have my old GoPro that I still love to use. Mine is, I don't even know what number it is. I know there's probably a whole bunch of new ones since the one I got.
We're on 13 now.
Yeah, mine's maybe like a 7 or an 8.
I like my 12 better than I like my 13.
Yeah, I don't use those as much as I used to. I have the little one that's really old, the one that doesn't have a screen on it. I forget what that one's called. Yeah, I forget. And then I have that one, but I use that when I'm with like my kids and we go on vacation. Like, I'll let them take the little one and strap it on or do something. And I know if it gets wet or something like that, it's not going to matter. So yeah, the GoPros are cool and they're just easy and convenient, especially when you're out doing calls. You're not trying to be out there with one of these big, I have this.
No.
Yeah, the Sony A7. What are these? The A7 R4s, A7S. I don't know. I forget what they are. But I mean, these are expensive cameras. I'm not trying to be out of the customer's home. Like, I'm not shooting a full production. Like,
cameras.
Yeah, I don't need all that.
No, the little chest mount is not very invasive. Most people, it doesn't bother them. I think if it were bigger or something, it might bother them some more. So it's nice having that nice little small package right there on your chest. And I just like that format using the GoPro.
Yeah. No, I think that's how I started. And granted, I didn't do very many videos, but I do think that is the easiest way. And you don't have to think about the camera. You just turn it on. It's shooting while you're working. Whereas some of these other options, you got to like set it up in the yard and, is it looking me? Is it looking at me? Like, but I feel like what's good about the GoPros is you just do what you normally do versus turning it into some production that makes it so much harder. That's why like cell phones have gotten so more powerful. Like I brought one of my nicer cameras to AHR. Most of the stuff that I put out, I shot on my phone, like, that's what I tell people nowadays. Like content is king. Like whatever you have, that'll work, because if you're not shooting a video with your phone, you're not going to shoot it with that fancy camera. It's really not. I've emphasized trying to do more with less.
Something, the mount that I use for my GoPro is magnetic, which allows me to put it in strange places sometimes and get a good point of view. And if nothing else, just stick it to the disconnect and point it at what I'm working at instead of having it right here. It makes it real easy to have a different perspective. Just take it off here and slap it right there.
Yeah, the magnetic stuff is pretty cool. I have one of those for this little camera. And then my phone case that I use, what is this again? Rockform. I love this phone case just for that reason, because it's magnetic and I can stick this to anything. I have to get one of those for the GoPro though. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll use that more, especially because I like creating content, even like the company that I'm going to go run, filming content to put out for your customers on your website, stuff like that. Because to me, that real stuff works better. Like even pictures of actual people that work for you on the website, not those like, Adobe stock photos of some random person. Like that's just disingenuous to me.
Yeah. You're making me think about local commercials. That's why I'm laughing at. There's some of them that use paid actors, and for us that work in the field, I'm looking at them thinking, I've never seen that guy.
Yeah, the guy looks like a fucking stockbroker, and they're like, he's gonna come fix your AC. No, he's not. No, he's not. That guy's gonna go get back into his suit with his collared shirt. Get out of here. Or he's gonna show up to sell you something. That's crazy, but yeah, man, we have to start. I gotta start ending this. I gotta. My other half, or whatever she's called nowadays, is leaving, so I gotta make sure I'm upstairs for my daughters while they're going to bed. But dude, this is awesome, man. Okay. Thank you for coming. I'm glad we got to like just chit chat and just learn more about you, Curtis. And I will watch more of the videos, man. I do feel bad, but I well, how it is though. Sometimes it's hard when you're trying to create content. It's hard to consume it. And I have so many friends that do this. It's hard to catch up with everything.
Well, I'll tell you this. On Instagram, I'm trying to post on. I have learned that a short video about just one little part of a big job, like welding one joint, a short video showing that with some music does much better than trying to tell a whole story and fast forward. And so I've been posting more on Instagram And so if you want to get a taste of my videos and you don't want to invest 42 minutes, just check it out on Instagram.
Yeah, well, I do see some of your stuff on Instagram, and I'll watch a little bit of the videos, and I do think you have a very cool intro. I do love that part of it. Did you make that yourself?
Yeah,
Nice.
I did. Well, it started out as a movie, like for a movie that you make on iMovie, the intros for the movies.
Mhm.
And it was like a minute and a half long. And then I added some effects to it, and I made like a little short out of it that was like 30 seconds. And then I realized, I need something even shorter. So I just chopped it way down and found some upbeat music that I could put with it. And it's 10 seconds now, something like that. And it just worked out real good.
No, that's sweet. A lot of times that's what I'll do with templates. Yeah, hey, Jason, don't be putting Chris's True Tech Tools discount code when I have one. Chris doesn't need my help. If anything, put my code on his videos. He could care less. There's so many of them. I'm just joking. He says, I know I was being an asshole. But yeah, no, a lot of things that I've done have been templates, like just not, and I love the creative aspect, but it's just time. Like this background that I have, I bought this. I have some new ones. I've been trying to create them, but I'm so picky. It's been hard. So I'm trying to create something a little bit different. I've used Fiverr for a few things that is pretty cheap, that you can find people that can create some cool stuff for you. That's not like an arm and a leg. I had them create a bunch of things for me, and I might have spent like $40. I mean, it was cool. That's how, like, my intros, my outro, those were all created for me. So it's pretty cool, and the people do good work, and you get to approve it. If they do it and you don't like it, you can be like, hey, this is a piece of shit, give me my money back. And the Fiverr, yeah, but the Fiverr, like, bylaws or whatever, if you're unhappy with the product, they have to give you your money back.
Oh.
So,
well, I've hired somebody for the HVAC guy letters that you see in the corner of my thumbnails.
oh, nice. Did you hire them like locally or?
No, it was through Instagram.
Oh, sweet.
Dude, do you know what time it is?
Yeah, I do. I should probably get going. My mom was just trying to call me. She probably thought that I was done. I'll tell her, still recording, Mom. I'll call you as soon as.
Well, send all our love to your mom. I hope she gets better.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now I was up there before we podcast, and now they got her isolated. Apparently, like, they think, because of her lungs. I don't know why, but you got to wear a mask when you go in there. So hopefully tomorrow I'll find out what the hell's going on, because it kind of scared her. And especially when you ask the nurse, like, okay, why is she being quarantined? Like, why is she? And, it's not COVID or anything like that. I know my dad had, when he was in the hospital, was that C. diff stuff that you get in the hospital. And they said, no, it's not that. They kept telling me what it's not. I'm like, okay, well, why? Like, oh, I don't know. Like, well, a lot of fucking help you are. Like, Jesus.
Dang, that's kind of hard to hear.
Yeah. And, it sucks because I'm starting this new job on Monday. I was hoping that my mom would be home before then, but then, to be honest, it's probably better off. I know she's in there. She's getting taken care of. Like, they're trying to get, rather than just saying, oh, you're good enough, go home, they're trying to find out the underlying reasons, because just since AHR, my mom's been in the hospital. This is the fourth time. So I'd rather be in there and get down to some stuff than just send her back home and we got to do this all over again. So, and then when I do start the new job on Monday, I can be focused on the job, not worrying about, damn, my mom's home and what's going on. So hopefully
you'll have to share stories about your new job.
Oh, I will, man. Gonna share some videos and a lot of amazing people that I can't wait for everybody to meet through the videos and stuff like that. So it's I'm excited. I'm so excited to get back to work. To me, this work is fulfilling, man. Like you said, like yes, you can make great money, but it's very fulfilling. Just like this podcast is like therapy to me. I love doing it. Like I love this work. So yes, I was picky until I found what I wanted to do next, but now I just can't wait to get going.
Sounds like you leaned to something good.
Yeah, man. I'm super pumped. But yeah, Mr. Curtis, thank you so much, man. Once again, congratulations on the award. The work that you put into your videos, the consistency is absolutely awesome, man. So yeah, keep that's funny. I got those things turned on. So keep it up, brother. We'll have to get you back on here and tell Adrian, man, I'll have to come back on with the Knights, then I can just talk all three of you at once.
Cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good one, buddy. I'm going to close this out. You can rock and roll if you got to. If you want to hang tight, totally up to you.
All right.
All right, buddy. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here tonight, man. Like I said, put in the comments, like after this video is done, put in the comments. Do you guys like these Friday nights? I actually starting to like these Friday nights. I just always felt bad because I know overtime show goes on. I know you guys aren't doing it all the time, but a lot of times they were on Friday nights. But I actually like doing these Friday nights. So I'm considering maybe, doing alternative nights. We'll see. But I do like this because I always thought about maybe doing the podcast. And then after the podcast, you can go right into a hangout, Friday night because people don't got to work the next day for the most part. So just let me know your guys' thoughts, man. Let me know what you think. And obviously, any of my friends, if they're doing shows, let me know. I don't like to step on anybody's toes. I want to try to support my friends, not shit on it. So, yeah. But yeah, man, I got to get out of here. Go upstairs with my kiddos. And, okay. You're doing overtime every other week. Okay. All right. Yeah. I know you guys always did Fridays, man. I never wanted to bump in to that, but I do like the Friday night spot to be able to do something. So maybe we'll see how it works. Just everybody let me know. But thank you guys for being here. Chris, man, I appreciate you, brother. As always, awesome that you were able to hop in. Everybody else, if I didn't call your name out earlier, I know some people hopped in, like, Brian Sanders, Mr. Sammy. Some new people I want to shout out, though. Xavier HVAC, thank you so much. I don't know if I've ever seen you in here before, so thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Mr. Will Speed, thank you. Appreciate you. Let's see. What is that? Ice White. Thank you for being in here. I haven't seen you here before, so I appreciate you showing up. Thank you so much. Normally, I'm every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I've been doing Fridays the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, if you don't mind to like and subscribe and check out what I got going on, greatly appreciate it. And then Mr. Kraus. So thank you guys, man. I appreciate you. Make sure you follow the podcast to stay up to date on everything that's going on the social media sites, on the YouTube channel. I am going to start putting out some YouTube videos. Like I said, I'm just trying to get some things settled before I make that commitment, but they are coming. I've even shot I've even already shot some videos in order to put out. So I do want to start getting some videos out there. Yeah, everybody have a great night. With that being said, man, guys, remember to keep your head on a swivel. I want everybody to be safe out there. All right. I don't care whether it's driving, it's a ladder, making sure the breaker is checked off. Turned off, whatever it is, just please be safe, man. I want each and every one of you to make it home the same way that you left. Do the little things, set yourself apart from the next guy or girl. Always be trying to master your craft, be at the best at what you do, and constantly be learning. There's no such thing as staying the same. And just give a shit about other people, man. You put out positivity in the world, you get positivity back. I firmly believe that, and nobody will ever change my mind. All right. With that being said, man, I love you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your support. Have an amazing weekend. Have a happy Easter Sunday, right? This is bad. I should know this. Yes, pretty sure Easter Sunday. Have a great weekend. Have a happy Easter. Let the kiddos enjoy spring break. And I'll talk with you mofos next week. All right. See ya.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored Podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
See ya.